This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.
Hey everyone, I'm Steph, and I'm taking over Tuesdays. Rob gave me his channel, and I am taking it. And today, I am following up with more of my top 50 favorite games, and this is numbers 20 through 11. So, coming in at my number 20th game of all time is Codenames Duet. I really love Codenames, and it is even better with a duet version. So it's a cooperative game for two players, but I guess you can still have teams, and it's if you've played Codenames, you're familiar with the mechanics, but this time you're each giving clues, and you each have a different card setup. So it's definitely challenging, and it's even made more challenging with a map. So you're trying to do these different locations on the map. Once you do it, you can check it off and go to the next location after that. But they give you different starting setups, so you can have like so many wrong guesses before you start losing a whole lot of lives. Or you have this many free agents. So it's like it's really complicated. The harder the level is, the harder it is to do well. And I haven't even beat every level on the map because it's so hard. So that is definitely a game I'm always willing to play, and it's always a challenge, and it's so much fun. And so I've had a lot of fun with that one. Coming in at 19, I've talked about it previously, is Medici. I think it's a perfect 5 or 6 player game. It is the best auction game that I know, and it's a classic. It's a classic. I can't help but love Medici. It is seriously a game I would play at any time with anybody, and I like to push my luck, and this game allows you to push your luck a whole lot, because you're trying to get like different cards on your boat to go up the different tracks, and do you push your luck to wait and maybe get the card you really need, or do you take this mediocre card and maybe not get largest boat? So it's like there's a tug of war in your mind. You're like, well, should I do it? Should I not? How much do I want to spend? All these different crazy emotions. And Medici, if you haven't played it, it is the best. It's so good. I love, love, love it. Coming in at number 18 is Dominant Species. Oh my goodness. Now this game is kind of intimidating if you're not familiar with it, but it's not as hard as you think. Or if you haven't played it, I would definitely recommend it. It's a really clever worker placement game. There's area control with your different species, and you don't want to go extinct, so you want to adapt to different terrain types and all these different things that you're doing with your actions. But the craziest thing of all are the event cards that come out at the end of each round. So you see them ahead of time so you can plan for them, and maybe you want to go to that action space first so you can claim the card that will affect everybody else and maybe not yourself. So there's timing on everything, and you want to be the first to do everything. And you're just trying to survive and get as many points as possible when scoring happens. And so there's so much to love about this game. There's awesome upgraded meeples that I have from meeplesource.com, and they are amazing, and I can't imagine the game without it anymore because they are that awesome. So that is Dominant Species. Coming in at number 17 is The Mind. This was in my top 10 last time I did the list. I love The Mind. I think it's fantastic. Great 2-player game, great 4-player game. It's really easy to explain, and you play a few rounds with new players and they're like, oh, I understand it now. And you play again because you've already lost. So it's really great. I've played it a whole bunch. When it first came out, I played it at maybe 200 something times that year, and it was just nonstop The Mind, and I couldn't get enough, and I love it. The Mind Extreme isn't as much fun, but I still like that. Again, The Mind, it will always be a favorite and a game I'm willing to play. Like many other games on my top 20 top 10, 20 to 11, a lot of them have already been in my top 10 at some point, but some of them are new. And like number 16 is brand spanking new, Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth. Oh my goodness. This game is big. This game is so big. It's a campaign. There's an amazing app to guide you through and uncover different scenarios and different things. And I've started this campaign with a few different groups now, and that first scenario, albeit is pretty long, but it changes every time you play. So that's what's so cool about the app, is that the app will reveal the terrain as you go, and you're exploring these different lands, and all these monsters and things are going to come up, and it's going to change from game to game, and that is so cool. And depending on the characters you are, you're going to get different upgrades and different abilities and all these different things. And so this game I had to play. I played through one full scenario, one full campaign, and I got to be Aragorn. And now Aragorn is my favorite, right? So I was expecting him to be the best. But he was mediocre. He was only middle of the row. However, he had pretty cool ability. I mean, he's Aragorn. He's the best. Sorry, he's the best. But he's a leader, and when you're playing two players, it's you don't really need a leader so much. So his strengths weren't necessarily what were needed in our game. Now, we did make it pretty far. We didn't end up winning the whole campaign. If you lose a round, that's fine, and you'll move on to the next. It's a matter of, at some point later on in game like 11 or 12 or something, if you lose, then you've lost the mission and you're done. So I haven't actually played the full campaign because I made it through one major part, but then I didn't make it through the next major part. So there's still room for improvement and room to explore. There's so much stuff we didn't see, and now there's a new expansion coming out, and I'm just totally excited. I just want to play it. I love Lord of the Rings. It makes me excited. This is definitely a really cool campaign game. Another brand spanking new game on my list, number 15, Maracaibo. I just was caught up in this game. When I sat down to learn it for the first time, it was a bit daunting. There was a lot going on, but after several plays following that, it's just so captivating. There's so much to do, and there's even the story mode. So every game will be a little different. As you play through the story, new things are going to pop up on the board, new quests are going to happen, different, like there's going to be a whole lot of different things happening, and I think that is just so cool. There's so much content in the box, and there's so many cards, and every game will be totally different. It is a tableau kind of engine builder, but you're also going to be moving your boat and doing different actions. So there's so much to think about. It reminds me a little bit of Mombasa with the different tracks that you're trying to gain influence on. And there's just so much to love, and it's just won my heart over. I love it, love it, love it. What am I thinking? I'm like trying to read the thing, and I put these things so far away, and I don't put it in bold, and I'm just like, ah. Okay, so number 14 is a game that probably wouldn't be on my list if it wasn't for the expansion, and that is Russian Railroads, German Railroads. So Russian Railroads itself, I played it so much, but then I just kind of overplayed it that it's not rated as highly anymore. However, with the German Railroads expansion, it is amazing. So the German Railroads expansion adds in modular boards, and you're kind of racing other players to move up your different rail tracks to get these different unique tiles for your board. So you are customizing your board every game. And so you're going to be doing different strategies every time, and there's just so much to do. You want to do it all, you can't do it all, and it's just brilliant. I mean, and the fact that you can play it on yukata.de is even better, because I've been getting to play it with my friends in the Northeast, and it's been so much fun. And German Railroads is fantastic. I I don't know if it's true, so don't quote me, but I hear they're scheduling a reprint of Russian Railroads, so hopefully that includes German Railroads, if that's possible. I don't know. This was just a whisper. Twitter gets crazy sometimes. So, yeah. Definitely play Russian Railroads if you can. German Railroads is even better if you're not overwhelmed. It might be a little overwhelming. The options are quite numerous, so. But it's fine. Just do it. Just do it! Number 13 used to be much higher on my list, but now it is 13, and that is Seasons. I can't speak highly enough about this game. It's drafting. You're drafting dice. I love that. I love the management of getting your gauge higher so you can have more cards in play. I love trying to figure out how to get more cards. I love the combos of the cards. I love the art. I love the production. I love everything about this game. This game has it all. The downfall is if you know the game really well and your friends or whomever you're playing with don't really know the game, doesn't really know the game, then you're probably gonna crush their face. Which is fine for some people, but other people like to have a shot at winning. But because I'm so experienced in the game, anytime I'll bring it out to the table, I will probably win. And if I don't, that means I'm having really bad cards or something. I don't know. But when I go online and I play all of the sharks, I get hammered on. So I'm not that good. However, I am probably significantly better than most new players. Now, if somebody's willing to learn and sit there and learn and play several games with you, then you'll do better. This is hands down better than Everdell, which I directly compare the games. I would always rather play Seasons, and Seasons. At this point, it should not be overlooked, but I feel like it's kind of overlooked. And with new gamers, people need to go back and play some of these from a few years back and just enjoy the awesomeness. So Seasons, check it out, so good. 12. Now, when this came on the scene, I was all about it. It is called Colonists. The Colonist. Now, the biggest drawback for this game is that it is literally 2 hours per player. You will be sitting at that table a long time. Now, you can play Era 1 by itself or start at Era 3, but there are 4 eras if you're going to sit from the beginning to the end, and it will run 2 hours per player. So 30 minutes per era per player. As you go, you're building up this board of like hexagons. And so these hexes will have abilities or do different conversions or give you wood or different things. So you are producing all this stuff and turning it into other stuff in order to buy the buildings and all these things. And you're trying to eventually build up your own player board with all these different buildings and production stuff. So you're generating big heaps of stuff so you can get the bigger and better stuff in the later eras. You want to increase your storage capability. There's so much to do. So it's like a big, huge Euro, which I love. And there is not that much player interaction. There can be a little bit depending on, what spaces you're on. And if people want to go there, it's going to cost them if they want to use the space that you're currently standing on. But otherwise, you're basically doing your own thing on your own board. Nobody can attack you or ruin your stuff. And so there's so much to... I don't mind the multiplayer solitaire aspect of this. So other people have complained about that, but that is something that I truly love. I love building up my engine. I love doing all that. And at the end, you have this little amazing production that you've put on. And so it always wows me, and I always have a great time playing it. And yeah, it's a big time commitment, but I think you will still have a great time playing it. And it has stood high on my list ever since it came out. So, The Colonist. Underrated, underplayed, more people need to play it, I need to play it, you know how it goes. Number 11 used to be number 3. I mean, this game has so much meaning and so much heart. I love it. It is Caverna. Caverna, Uwe Rosenberg titles, all around, just love, 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 love. Caverna, the new expansion came out. It has a whole lot more tiles added, different factions that you get to be with abilities. I mean, now is amazing. Now the game just stands out. It's so good. Unfortunately, I haven't played it all that much with the new expansion, but it's still on my shelf. It's what I want to. If I'm playing, I'm usually teaching it or something, so I play with just the base game, so that's why I haven't played so much with the expansion. However, that is definitely on my to-do list really soon, because Caverna is a game I haven't played nearly enough, and I really love it. So, gotta get all those sheepies. Caverna. Can't go wrong. Uwe Rosenberg. So good. So good. Anyway, that was my 20 through 11 all-time favorite games. And I know you need to play them if you haven't played them. Because they're the best, right? There's top 20. I mean, it doesn't get better than that, right? Oh, wait. Next week, I will do my 10 through 1, my favorite top 10 games of all time. So make sure to check it out next week.
The game, bye. And you could get this from Miniature Market, right, Grandpa?
You can get this from Miniature Market. That's right.
Yeah, everything you need. Bye.